What happens to the soul after death is not just a religious question, but a human one. This video explores faith, science, and real experiences that shape how we face mortality. Understanding these perspectives can change how you live today, making this journey essential to your own search for meaning. Welcome to Cosmic Axis, where we explore life's deepest mysteries and the questions that shape our existence. Today we ask, what happens to the soul after we die? From religious faith to scientific inquiry, from psychology to personal experiences, this journey offers insights that touch every life. If you find these reflections meaningful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Cosmic Axis so together we can continue uncovering ideas that inspire wisdom, purpose, and a deeper understanding of the human spirit. From the earliest days of human civilization, death has remained the ultimate mystery. And even in modern American society, surrounded by science, technology, and endless information, the question of what comes after continues to haunt us. Psychologists note that the awareness of our mortality shapes much of human behavior, from the way we pursue success to the way we cling to relationships. Ernest Becker, a cultural anthropologist, argued that much of culture itself is an attempt to deny death and give meaning to life. In today's America, where religious diversity thrives alongside secular thought, this question emerges in countless forms. Christians reflect on the promise of heaven and eternal life, while others turn to Eastern philosophies that speak of reincarnation or the soul's journey. At the same time, a growing number of people approach the mystery from a secular angle, asking whether consciousness simply ends or transforms in ways science has yet to measure. In therapy rooms, grief counselors often remind their clients that belief in some form of continuation, whether spiritual or symbolic, provides comfort and resilience. What unites all these perspectives is the recognition that asking about the soul is not merely about curiosity. It is about grounding our existence in a story larger than the fear of death itself.
For many in American society, religious traditions remain the primary lens through which the fate of the soul is understood. Within Christianity, the concepts of heaven and hell continue to shape moral frameworks, offering hope of eternal reward or warning of eternal separation. Surveys show that even as secularism rises, large portions of Americans still find comfort in the biblical promise that death is not the end, but a passage into God's presence. Psychologists note that such beliefs provide not only personal solace, but also collective stability, creating communities bound by shared moral visions. At the same time, other faith traditions present their own perspectives. Judaism often emphasizes the soul's ongoing connection with God, while Islam speaks of accountability and eternal justice. In Buddhist and Hindu communities, ideas of rebirth and karma highlight continuity rather than finality. These views coexist in America's diverse cultural landscape, shaping how individuals approach suffering, justice, and purpose. Modern thinkers suggest that even when interpreted symbolically, these images of afterlife reflect humanity's longing for fairness and meaning in a world where suffering often appears unjust. Thus, whether taken literally or metaphorically, religious visions of eternity continue to influence how people navigate life and confront the inevitability of death. In contemporary America, scientific and psychological perspectives on consciousness play a central role in shaping how people think about life after death. Neuroscientists often argue that what we call the soul may be closely tied to brain activity, suggesting that when the brain ceases, so does conscious experience. Yet this explanation, while grounded in evidence, leaves many unsatisfied, as it reduces the mystery of existence to chemical and electrical processes. Psychologists such as William James observe that human beings have a natural inclination to believe in realities beyond the material, pointing out that spiritual experiences, even if not scientifically provable, hold genuine psychological power. In modern therapy, discussions about death often include the role of symbolic immortality, how people live on through their children, their work, or the memories they leave behind. Studies show that those who find meaning in such perspectives tend to cope better with loss and mortality. At the same time, new research in quantum physics and near-death phenomena keeps the debate open, leaving space for speculation that consciousness may extend beyond physical death. In a society where science and faith often intersect, these discussions reflect not only intellectual curiosity, but also a deep need to reconcile evidence with hope.
Among the most intriguing contributions to the debate on the soul's destiny are the accounts of near-death experiences, which many Americans regard as powerful challenges to strict materialist explanations. People who have been clinically dead for minutes often describe vivid sensations of leaving their bodies, moving through tunnels of light, or encountering deceased loved ones. While skeptics argue these are products of oxygen deprivation or neurological reactions, psychologists emphasize that the transformative impact of these experiences cannot be dismissed. Dr. Raymond Moody, who popularized research on near-death phenomena, noted that such stories often lead individuals to live with greater compassion, reduced fear of death, and a stronger sense of purpose. In diverse communities across the United States, these testimonies resonate with both religious believers and spiritual seekers, who see them as glimpses of another dimension. Even in secular circles, where belief in an afterlife may be weak, the emotional depth of these accounts stirs curiosity about consciousness beyond the brain. Modern researchers continue to investigate these phenomena, acknowledging that while science has not yet provided definitive answers, the persistence of such experiences keeps the mystery of the soul alive and opens doors for dialogue between faith, psychology, and science. Beliefs about the soul, whether religious, spiritual, or scientific, inevitably shape the way people live their daily lives in American society. For some, the conviction that the soul continues in heaven or another realm encourages moral choices rooted in accountability and hope for eternal peace. For others, especially those influenced by secular or psychological perspectives, meaning is created not through expectation of an afterlife, but through the legacy one leaves behind. Psychologists highlight that our orientation toward death deeply influences our mental health. Those who see life as part of a larger spiritual journey often show greater resilience in the face of suffering, while those who embrace symbolic immortality through art, service, or family tend to live with a sense of continuity beyond their physical existence. Across diverse communities, the question of the soul becomes a guiding force, shaping values such as compassion, justice, and purpose. Even in a pluralistic environment, where no single answer prevails, the very act of asking sustains the human need for meaning, reminding us that uncertainty does not diminish life's significance, but rather deepens our appreciation of it. Thank you for watching this video, and if these reflections offered you insight, we warmly invite you to like the video and subscribe to the channel, so together we can continue exploring ideas that inspire a more thoughtful and meaningful life.